This week, we're house hunting for two young couples who have fallen for Hertfordshire's many charms.
Martine and Nick are moving from London and they want a house with promise and potential.
While Pradeep and Dena, they're looking for a touch of Wisteria Lane in the Broker Belt.
In other words, perfection. Easy peasy.
London streets may be paved with gold, but when you're looking to put down roots in softer soil, Hertfordshire is only a stone's throw away.
So, needless to say, this week's couples are not the only ones looking to swap London life for cricket on the common. And we'll be up against some tough competition in our search for two perfect pads. It's been a tough old year in the housing market, one way or another.
But life goes on, Phil. Death, divorce, relocation.
Yeah.
You know, people need to buy homes,
Well,
whatever the market.
These guys say they're busier than they have been in 2 years, so things are on the turn. Things are looking better.
Well, it depends how you define better, doesn't it? For me, better is more activity in the market. As long as people aren't trapped in their homes, that's all I mind about. First up, an ordinary search in extraordinary circumstances.
Martine Wright and Nick Wiltshire met in 2003 and are getting married in just 2 months' time.
I sort of need to have her around me because she's just like, you know, kind of tells me what to do and and all that type of thing.
I think Nick is such a strong person. I know that he'll love me for the rest of my life.
But for Martine, walking up the aisle to marry Nick will be special in more ways than one.
On the 7th of July 2005, I was off to my job as an international marketing manager in Tower Hill, and I decided to step on the circle line at about 10 to 9 in the morning, and was literally 3 foot away from one of the bombers that bombed the tube lines. And obviously that incident completely changed my life as well as our lives and my family and friends' lives. But, you know, unfortunately, that day I did lose both my legs above the knee.
Martine spent about a year in hospital learning to walk on prosthetic legs. And now, nothing stands in her way.
Absolutely fantastic! Wipe out!
And the next thing this determined woman is setting her sights on is finding a family home for her and Nick to begin married life.
It's going to be the home that we're going to live in for the next sort of 10, 20 years, and we can see, you know, us starting our family, us raising our kids there. We've spent a long time waiting for this. As a result, this move is so important, and we need to feel like that it's the right house.
And I'm going to do everything in my power to help them. Hi, Martine.
Nice to meet you.
How are you doing?
Good, good.
What a great spot this is.
I know,
Beautiful.
it's beautiful. That's why we're actually getting married here in a couple of months' time.
Fantastic.
So we were just trying to work out where our bridal suite is.
Yeah.
It's just up there somewhere.
I know you're renting somewhere close by. Give us the quick sort of heads up of what we're looking for.
There are the definite minimum sort of things that we need. Number one, accessibility for me, whether it's on my wheelchair or on my legs, and definitely potential office space for Nick, because being a photographer, he works from home.
Yeah, I'm going to need a certain amount of space to probably outside of the house. And I much prefer it to be outside of the house where clients can come in and then I can show them my work.
We're quite different. I think I'm more practical, and I think Nick will walk into a property and his heart will lead his head, whereas my head will lead my heart, if that makes sense. Sort of thing. So a bit more romantic.
Okay.
You know.
Is she right?
No, you see, yeah. Yeah, she's always right.
So Martine needs a practical pad with potential to grow, and that means a bungalow with a big garden.
Whereas Nick wants to be at one with nature. For him, it's about a rural setting and a sense of community, plus space in the garden to house his photography business.
So, picture perfect versus practically perfect in every way.
Our second set of house hunters are Dena Mystery and Pradeep Patel. They too are making up for lost time.
This professional pair of Londoners have been looking to escape their small Finchley flat for almost a year.
When we first got married, we had to go for the flat. So I promised Dena it'd just be a year. 3.5 years later, we're still here. but I think she's forgiven me for that.
Oh, I don't think so.
Dena's determined to find a large family home that will impress their friends.
Having a bigger property, your friends can stay over, you can take them out and just love it, and they can just feel jealous that they're not living there.
Pradeep's taking a more practical view.
I promised her she'll get her dream eventually, but there are stepping stones and we need to get a normal family house before we move on to her Disneyland palace.
But I've had promises before.
I'm just slightly behind schedule, that's all.
Yeah.
And getting more behind schedule. Despite hunting high and low, they're no closer to finding the jewel for Dena's crown. Good luck, Kirstie.
What worries me is a little rumour that I heard.
Oh, yeah?
That you have seen 30 to 50 properties?
Yep.
No. Tell me that's not true.
It's true, purely because we've come close enough for times where we've put offers in properties.
You put offers in?
We have. And we've gone up to what we can afford to do. And it's been refused. And in the current climate as well, we were hoping that it had manoeuvrability in terms of negotiating.
The current climate is certainly different, but at the moment, Strong is still selling. If you've seen 30 properties, you've probably seen the full gamut.
Right.
In those 30 properties is going to be a property very similar to the one you end up with.
I just want something different to what my friends have got. Something different, something that people will remember. I want the wow.
Taxi!
Dena and Pradeep have a budget of £370,000 for a 3-bed house in South Hertfordshire.
They'd prefer open-plan living with a good garden, and after struggling with London's double yellow lines for more than 3 years, off-street parking is a must.
So we've got £500,000 for the hopes and dreams of our nearly newlyweds.
And £370,000 for the wow factor of Wisteria Lane within 30 miles of Watford.
Certainly something for us to get our teeth into.
Oh, look at that.
I don't know if we needed 5. I got a bit carried away.
Yeah, let me have a bite.
We're going to need some sugar this week. One thing I know I'm going to come up against is bungalows are so popular with developers because they come on reasonable plots.
Well, my problem, I think, is that everyone thinks at the moment there's a deal to be had. I'll keep Dena and Pradeep out of your hair.
I haven't got much. But it's kind of you to say. Martin and Nick are getting married in 2 months.
Really? They might let you be a page boy.
Martin's keyword is potential, and Nick wants to work from home in a room with a view.
Bungalows may have a reputation for being boring, but believe me, they're not just for the pipe and slippers brigade. Most sit on a fairly princely patch, and this particular one's a whopper, with loads of space to extend into and 2 large outbuildings for Nick's studio.
It came on the market just over a week ago, and already serious interest from the local property developers has turned it into Hertfordshire's hot property. So we can't afford to dawdle with a decision. But before we go in the house, I wanted you to see this. The whole plot, front to back, is 280 feet here.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's huge.
It is absolutely huge.
That's huge, so it goes further down.
It goes further than you can see,
Than what we
because
can
it goes
see.
beyond that pagoda
Beautifully
thing,
kept garden.
There's no doubting the potential of the plot size, but will the existing property be big enough for their immediate needs?
The only thing that I kind of get immediately from this room, it is kind of narrow. And, you know, OK, you know, we could do the whole open plan thing, but it feels quite dark along this sort of side. And you just think to yourself, well, there isn't a great deal to kind of get more into it.
There's a lot more you could do at that,
Yes.
but it's going to come at a cost, a time scale, all those things need to be factored in.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely.
Doesn't sound like a yes to me, Phil. I think this search is far from over.
The first thing that springs to mind is a bit small.
It's a bit compact.
It is a bit small.
I mean, what I possibly could do is have...
I like that. What I could possibly do. This is encouraging.
No, I was just thinking, you're going to have that for the clients and stuff, and this could be my little office.
What, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
that would
OK.
be fantastic, but...
Did that put a bit of a different spin on the...
Not really. What do you think?
I mean, I think the thing for me is that I've realised that, you know, we are paying for this huge garden. And obviously we did ask for that in the beginning, our requirements, but I just can't get my head around, we've got a huge garden, but we've got quite a small house. So I think, personally, for me, I'd like a bigger house, a slightly smaller garden.
OK. Point taken.
Yeah.
Well made.
Yeah.
we'll move on.
Brilliant. Next house.
Something tells me this plucky pair aren't quite as ready for an extensive project as they think. The property developers of South Herts can rest easy.
But I can't, and I'm already one really very good house down. So the pressure mounts.
City dwellers Pradeep Patel and Dena Mystery love entertaining their friends, but dinner parties in a one-bed Finchley flat can be a tight fit.
They need more space, and that means moving out of London.
Hopefully my first property will be something of a happy halfway house. It's in the residential area of Harrow Weald, so it benefits from both the Greater London location and a Hertfordshire borders price tag.
For just under £370,000, Pradeep and Dena get their 3 bedrooms, a private garden, and that all-important off-street parking.
Thing is, they've already viewed more than 30 similar properties, so I need to figure out what's gone wrong with their search.
Now, first house, I need you to be honest and vocal.
Right.
Both of you.
Right.
If I think I'm not getting enough out of you, young man, I'll get her to zip it. Now, it's a terrace,
Right.
which I know isn't a number 1 thing on your list, but it's only one of 3.
Right.
So there's this block here, and it's just the centre of the 3 houses. Pradeep?
Yeah, no, I like it. Looks like it's got character.
OK.
On the ground floor there are 2 good reception rooms and a kitchen diner perfect for entertaining friends. But will it suit Dena?
Dena, you're borderline wrinkling your nose.
Oh dear.
Is it the colours? Is it the
I know,
size?
because you can change the colours.
Yeah.
Colours not phasing me at all. It feels small.
Is this the smallest thing you've seen?
Yeah.
By far, of all your
Yeah.
30?
What do you think? I think so.
I think we may have seen smaller, but it doesn't feel
doesn't do
comfortable.
it for either of you in any way.
No.
This is not a good start.
No.
No. No. This is the worst start I've had for ages.
Oh
Okay.
dear.
Any positives?
It's cute, but that's all I can say about it.
There, Kirstie. It's only the first house.
It's small.
Disaster. It's a disaster. I haven't had this bad a start for years.
Sounds like you're going to have to move your search further into Hertfordshire, Kirstie. Which is exactly what I'm doing with Martine and Nick's next property. We're in Redbourn, just a 10-minute drive from St Albans, but quite possibly one of the cutest villages I've ever seen. It has this fantastic village green.
Beautiful. Can you
I
imagine?
think in terms of the community, you couldn't want for a better one. It actually won Village of the Year a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah. So people love it. People move here specifically because of the feel of Redbourn and all the amenities. But what do you make of that, though?
I can walk across all of that because it's got
Yes.
concrete paths.
Yeah.
You can go and fetch him out of the pub.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
Or out the cricket, watching
Exactly.
the cricket.
And there's direct access, to the pub,
Yeah.
basically. So it's fine.
Well, look, come on.
Perfect.
I've arranged to meet Kirstie up at the house. Hopefully she'll be on time, but she's got the keys.
Brilliant.
Excellent. Cool.
OK, then.
This property is not just about the lovable location, it has renovation potential and a room to move in without having to start work immediately.
It is at the top end of their budget, but with 3 ground floor bedrooms and a ready-made office in the garden for photographer Nick, I'm hoping this could be their forever family home.
There is one hitch, a bedroom in the roof.
All the rooms are just that much bigger than where we
Yeah, immediately when you walk
Yeah,
in
no,
here,
definitely.
it's a lot wider.
Nick, what's running through your mind?
I'm starting to sort of design it now. I think it's kind of nice. I like the chalet place down the bottom of the garden. I mean, I'm just looking over the back there. You're not overlooked.
You are not overlooked
So-
at
At
all.
all,
no.
You're not overlooked at all. Very private, lovely garden, perfect environment for children,
Sure.
completely safe, has a very nice
Something
feel.
tells me that Kirstie quite likes this one.
No, I get a feeling of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it,
So do I, Kirstie.
you know, good. You see?
And I'm getting the feeling Nick's as sold on this house as you are, Kirstie.
Oh, well, this is ideal, isn't it? Essentially, just having a place where I can kind of like work and then another place where clients can come along and see my work, basically. So
It's a showroom. It's a showroom.
Absolutely.
It's an office.
Yeah.
And it's a place to escape.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
when you
absolutely.
work from home, I often find
Yeah.
you need
to be somewhere, and particularly when you start a family,
Well,
you know, you need to get away, and
Well,
it needs to be like Dad's office.
Absolutely.
Stay out.
It is the shed at the bottom of the garden, so, you know, I'll put...
And it's quite palatial by shed standards.
I think so, actually. I think all my friends would be rather jealous.
The romantic in Nick may have quickly fallen for Redbourn's charms, but I think the converted roof space could prove to be a sticking point for Martine.
I don't know how accessible that is at all for you. Could you get up there? Would you ever...
I can get upstairs, but I had this ideal situation in my head that our house wouldn't have stairs, and I can get everywhere in my house because it's my home. I'm not saying that this is a no, I'm just saying that there's still a question mark over it because of this.
We want to find the ideal home, and there's lots of things about this house that are ideal. This isn't.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a huge responsibility to get this one right.
You have no worries.
Are you saying that you have a lot of worries?
I, on the other hand... Yeah, no, you can laugh. I took Dena and Pradeep into the house, and it was just like, small was the catchphrase. And then I said, how does it compare to the other things you've seen? Because they've seen a lot of things, like 30 to 50 things. And they said, oh, it's the smallest thing we've seen.
Whoops.
Oh, I know, you could knock me over with a feather. I'm just here to see how the other half live. Oh, look, you matched the cushion. Oh.
Cushion. You could just about see the hills from when we were at the back of the house.
Oh, I see.
You could just
from
about
your
see.
office, you mean?
Yes, from my office.
Right.
Which is really nice.
Lovely.
But it is a good road, isn't it? It looks
No, it's got a really nice feeling to it.
There you are.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
So, what were your thoughts?
Definitely got potential, and we could double the size of the kitchen and put another third onto the living room. And you'll probably know that there's a but coming. But what I keep worrying about is the room upstairs.
Do you think we could revert it, actually take out the stairs completely anyway?
Yes.
They happen to have got a bed up there, and they can use it in that way. But
It's
the
a
house
useful
wasn't built or
storage.
designed
It's
with
a
that
useful
in mind.
storage, and ladies don't go into the attic and get boxes and suitcases. Their partners do.
Yes, of course, you're right.
So, you know...
Well, at least it seems they're thinking about it. Let's hope this positivity is catching.
You know what they say about the early bird? Well, I'm up with the lark this morning, and I've got a bungalow on the western tip of Hertfordshire that will have Nick and Martine singing. It's situated on the outskirts of Tring, which means the glorious Chiltern Hills are just at the foot of the road.
The house is on one level with a huge garden and 2 outbuildings.
What's more, it's on the market at a whopping £125,000 under budget. Come on in. So helpful, not too many steps.
Access is great there. Access is great.
Now, this room would be a bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great sized room. I think it's very square, so that means if we had this as a bedroom, we could have a double bed in it, and I could still get round with my wheelchair.
Yeah.
But at least Nick could still get out of his side of the bed, which has been a problem.
And then in here, we've got sort of 3 rooms interlinked.
Wow.
You could choose how you use the different rooms.
This is quite nice, though, the way you've still got the option of shutting the doors and things like that if you want to. I think it's quite nice.
Quite a nice flow.
The way it flows, exactly. It's got a really nice feeling. I can't describe what the feeling is, but...
Got a certain cottage kind of feel to it, hasn't it?
It's on the market at £375,000.
Wow. That really surprises me, considering, you know, that's over £100,000 cheaper than the one we saw yesterday.
There's a lot of opportunity to do.
And, you know, to be honest, the one I saw yesterday afternoon, you know, in Redbourn wasn't... It didn't make me have this feeling.
What do you reckon, Nick? Could you see how this might work?
Yes, I can.
I sense a but.
Yeah, it's not a but. I just feel like I need a little bit of convincing myself of, you know, how kind of quiet and, you know, kind of natural it is.
OK.
There is enough mature garden down there to be able to kind of make it more, you know, isolated feeling. You know, I know that sounds a bit naff, but I guess that's something that I want to feel as if, you know, we're in a bit more of an isolated position.
Looks like Nick's heart still lies in Redbourn. Could there be trouble in paradise?
You got a feeling about it, haven't you?
I don't know where that feeling is coming from. I mean, I know that's maybe the way that my mind works, and We went to go and see that place yesterday in Redbourn, and it
Yeah.
was, what, £120,000 more.
Yes.
And I look at this place,
Yeah.
and I think, actually,
Yeah.
we could do that
Yeah.
to a property,
Absolutely.
and we could bring it
We'll
up to
do it.
scratch.
The good thing about the Redbourn place for me
Yeah.
was that the actual kind of plot that it was on wasn't just a dum 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 dum, you know,
No.
like, you know, oh, I'm in the street. I was thinking that hopefully we were going to find something a little bit more romantic.
Yeah.
And to me, actually, the Redbourn place was a little bit more romantic.
I prefer this house
Yes, I'm sure you do.
to
Yeah.
what the other one.
Yeah.
Do you prefer the other house to this?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's, you know, to be honest, yes.
You know what? I'm actually quite relieved that they're having a bit of an argument down there, which I think is incredibly positive. They are different. They do want different things. I think it's very, very healthy. It's good communication between house hunters. That's something that Kirstie would be very jealous of right now. However, they're not going to buy this house if they can't agree on it. So I'm going to have one last tug at Nick's heartstrings. It's not right outside the house, but we've only come up 100 yards. But I wanted you to see the footpath, the Chilterns, that is, you know, proper open countryside.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful little church there.
Yeah. I don't know whether this might put a different angle on it for you, Nick.
I'm warming to it. Or I'm being warmed to it.
Well, the sun's certainly shining on my search, but Kirstie's having a grey day. So I'm inviting myself along to her next property to see if I can't brighten the mood.
We've moved further into Hertfordshire to Bushey and this 3-bed end-of-terrace house. Both the house and garden are substantially larger than the first property we showed Pradeep and Dena. No surprises then that the price follows suit.
However, we've had a word with the vendor, and if they decide this is the house for them, we do reckon it's possible to secure it within their £370 budget. Hi,
I can introduce you to Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Very nice to meet you both. What do you think of the street?
Yeah, look.
Silence.
No, silence. I can tell. Body language. Body language is everything.
Okay.
You can tell there's unhappiness about the area.
Maybe she'll feel happier with the inside.
First impressions, Dena.
Much nicer than the previous property.
Dena, the previous property was the worst one you'd ever seen.
Yeah.
If this property wasn't much nicer than the previous property...
Kirstie would be out of a job.
Yes, OK.
From the outside, my impression of it was like, oh no, where am I going? But I'm really, really surprised. This is cool and I could go and have a look at it, whereas yesterday I really didn't want to see any more.
Ah, now that's more like it. Now, Dena, we've got 3 beds, 2 baths up here.
It's bigger than some of the third bedrooms that we've seen.
Yeah.
So that's kind of quite promising.
Unfortunately, it's the 2nd bedroom.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm intrigued to know
Yeah.
what you guys feel has been going wrong in the search so far, because I know you've looked at a lot.
Yeah.
Some things are amiss, and I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Maybe I've had to compromise with Pradeep because he'll, you know, if he likes something, then I'll go back and I'll think about it and I'll play devil's advocate and say, well, have you considered this? Or,
Yeah, I think that's a very healthy thing to do.
It's kind of very much the to-ing and throwing and the sulking, and that's kind of what process I'd go through. So if he turned around and said...
What do you mean sulking?
I sulk a lot, you know, my friends would tell me.
Yeah. As in, if you can't get your way?
Yeah, if I can't get my way, or I'll try and put a spanner in the works, just so I could kind of get my way.
OK. Has that caused problems along the way in choosing a house?
Possibly. But neither of us want to admit it.
OK. After you.
Look at it, it's just so close to each other.
You're going to dance in between or something?
Yes.
You know what I think we've got here?
Yeah.
Fairly classic case of intermarital poor communication. One's blaming it on the other.
It's very big words for you, Phil.
She said to me something along the lines of that he's said yes to a few and then she's sulked until she's got away and she's backed down.
Oh, that's attractive.
Yeah, that's what I mean about communication. It's not really the way to go house hunting.
Do I ever sulk?
No.
No, you do sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Very attractive.
Yeah. Not.
See, I think it's small.
No. You've got to think of this as a young person's room. It's plenty big. Enough space for them to do everything. Little desk for their homework.
What? Oh, God.
Martine Wright and Nick Wiltshire are getting married in 2 months' time, and I'm trying to find them their first family home.
Martine's looking for a project, but she also has practical needs. She preferred the bungalow in Tring.
But nature-loving Nick felt more at home in rural Redbourn. I'm hoping my final property will be something they agree on. This detached 2-bed cottage is perched on the edge of the Chilterns in the tiny village of Wigginton.
The property is smaller than the Tring house and in dire need of redecoration, but at £155,000 under budget, it's a developer's dream, and I just know Nick's going to love the location.
Just before I show you the house, which is up this cul-de-sac street here, I just wanted to kind of set the scene.
No, absolutely. I'm raring to let go. Should we wear a job?
Go on then, have a look.
Come back, though.
That's it now. Let's see it.
We've done it. Bye. It's OK, you can come back. We love you, really. So Nick's obviously smitten with the scenery, but I think Martine's going to take a bit of convincing. On paper, this is a great property, but it doesn't quite have the walk-in wow factor of Tring. This is a small house.
Yeah.
There's no getting away from that. I think it's a perfectly comfortable, very nice house. You could extend it to the back. You could extend it to the side. There's the garage.
Garage there.
Even to the front.
All right.
A lot of the bungalows further up the cul-de-sac have successfully made very big houses.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Nick?
It's gorgeous. You know, you look out the window, you can see trees. You know, it's beautiful.
It's more villagey, definitely. It just, first of all, looks a bit small.
What this property lacks is an outbuilding for Nick's photography business, but he's struggling to see any negatives. Could you get your office up in the corner there?
I think so. And I was just thinking you could put the office up there and have a raised bed and maybe a patch just in front of it.
Where does this sit in terms of Tring, Redbourn and here?
It definitely feels the first. It feels like this is my favourite. I don't think Martine is going to be as hot as I am.
Oh, really? Oh.
So that's Redbourn with the upstairs bedroom out of the running, but I think the Tring property is still Martine's firm favourite.
I just feel like here, yeah, we have got fields over there, but I feel like at the same time I feel a little closed in. I don't know why. And I think location-wise I'm very comfortable with Tring, and I can see the potential in the house.
Nick didn't seem quite as comfortable in Tring, did he?
So you haven't made my life any easier, Phil, at all.
Never mind, Martine, you're not the first lady to be left dazed and confused by Phil's bedside manner.
That's good size.
Oh, yeah.
That's about the same size as the living room, isn't it? Now, so it would be...
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Twice as big.
We'll go round in circles here. Hopefully we're going to sort it out. You all right?
Yeah, not bad.
Hello.
How's the thought process looking? A bit jumbled up still.
Yeah.
I'm getting a headache,
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful location. You know, you've definitely brought us to one of the favourite villages.
Could you make the house work?
I think, again, it's slightly more complicated with extending it and things like that. And I think any house could come up in Tring, I suppose, whereas this location...
Quite rare.
So I imagine you have quite a few buyers that are quite interested in things.
That would be good to sleep on it.
Don't know how much sleep we can have. No, it will be. It will be good to maybe mull it over a nice cold pint or something and just have a chat about it.
Yeah.
While Martine and Nick go off to drown their sorrows, Dena and Proddy are still treading water.
In their 12 months of searching, this picky pair of Londoners have rejected more than 30 unsuitable properties, and both of my 2 offerings also sank without a trace.
So we're breaking all London ties with this next one and moving much further into Hertfordshire, to King's Langley.
By pushing Pradeep and Dena on area, I can get them the off-street parking, large garden and open-plan living space of their dreams. All 35 grand safely within budget.
But Dena's desperate for that elusive wow factor. Will King's Langley be her castle in the sky? Once more into the breach, Kirstie. Once more.
There we have it.
Wow.
First impressions?
Nice.
Yeah.
OK, I can live with that.
Yay.
Do you want to see inside?
Yes.
Well, wonders will never cease.
Now, you've got dining room,
kitchen and sitting room.
I like.
You like?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Right, OK. What would you think it was on the market at?
More than our budget.
What would you say if I told you it was on the market at 335?
Really?
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's what they call a fire sale. It needs to be sold quickly. 335,
Blimey.
non-negotiable. That's absolutely what needs to be achieved
Wow.
from the sale of this house.
Can I see more?
Yep, 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 well, yep. Downstairs loo. Always handy.
And under the stairs.
That's what you said.
And
Out of the way.
a kitchen which I think works very well, but you could change.
I can see things.
You can see potential.
Yes. My eyes are like bigger than my face now.
Pradeep?
I absolutely love it.
You absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely. We always talk about a sociable kitchen. This is just magic.
This is a very sociable kitchen, because this would be a really good entertaining space.
I want to get excited. I want to just scream. Oh my God.
How does this compare to the 30 properties that you've seen?
We haven't seen anything like this,
They don't
have we?
compare, do they?
This is the best you've seen?
Yeah.
Do you want to go and have a look upstairs by yourself?
Yes.
Try and contain your excitement.
No.
Dena looks thrilled, and thank goodness it's just 24 hours we've gone from worst place to first place.
Oh, wow.
It's calm on me. This is my
Yeah,
thing.
they've got...
Is that Phil Spencer, property guru and all-round god?
Yeah, that'll be me.
They love it.
Oh, my goodness me.
Love it, love it, love it. They're walking around, beaming like little Cheshire cats.
Well, make a nice little office. Does
Yeah.
make a nice little
To
office,
start
doesn't
with,
it?
it's
Yeah.
loose.
If we can just keep our general smug level down to... would be good, to a usable level.
OK.
OK, lots of love.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
You still excited?
Yes.
Still?
Yes.
Pradeep?
Absolutely, yes.
As you know, it's being sold arguably under its market value, and it's a slight case of whoever gets to 335 first is going to win, and that's going to be it.
Right.
I'd be quite keen to make an offer today. What do you think, Dena? Or do you want to sleep on it?
I love it. And I'll be disappointed if we didn't get it.
Yeah. I think especially after some of the properties we've seen, this is a real gem.
That's my feeling, yeah.
Go for it.
100% sure.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Of all the people to make an offer after only seeing a house once, I wouldn't have put my money on this pair.
I know, I feel quite faint. I'm going to get the offer in pronto before Dena changes her mind.
We'll just do it.
Valerie, it's Kirstie, Allsopp. I have got two very enthusiastic house hunters next to me, and they are absolutely adamant that it's the house for them. So I don't think there's any point in mucking about, and they would just like to make a very clear offer at 335, with the one caveat that the property comes off the market on acceptance of the offer. OK. Thanks, Valerie, that's great. OK, thank you, bye.
Ooh.
You are perfect purchasers.
Perfect purchasers, complex clients. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you, Kirstie.
Hello. Valerie. Hiya. Okie doke. Fantastic, Valerie. Thank you so much. Okie doke. Brilliant. Bye. Oh, Stone the Crows. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Offer accepted. It will be removed from the market. If you had told me 3 hours ago, I mean, that is the biggest turnaround in the history of Phil and Kirstie. I just can't believe that. That's incredible. Well done. Well done. I mean, that is just the way I'm like, wow. Whoa.
I'm playing catch-up now, and luckily the morning brings with it a bit of clarity for our nearly newlyweds, Martine and Nick.
Yesterday, the wilds of Wigginton impressed Nick, and the small two-bed cottage was his first choice. But for Martine, easily accessible Tring took top spot, with its large flat garden and open-plan living space.
Today they've made a decision, and I've been summoned. 1-0 to Kirstie at the moment. Tring it was then?
Yes.
Came the front runner?
In the end, after a few sleepless hours
Yes.
and
Stressful conversations.
morning.
Was it difficult? Was it difficult to reach that?
For me, I don't think it was as difficult as
Yeah.
For him?
maybe.
Yeah. No, I woke up and I just thought the Wigginton place, I was living the dream a little bit, and I've always wanted a place out in the countryside. But the realisation is that, for our time of our lives, it might not just be the right place for us right now.
Fair enough. If Martine and Nick secure this property at its asking price, they would still have £125,000 left in their budget to build the bungalow of their dreams.
And we're hoping a few reassuring words from a local architect will help make things more concrete. This is where we were hoping to be able to extend the house.
Yeah, it's certainly got a lot of potential, this property.
That's been my keyword.
This bungalow is 2 rooms deep and can be extended fairly simply, but what Martine and Nick will have to consider is how to utilise the space in the centre of the house without losing light.
I've just done a little sketch of the basic layout. Obviously, I haven't drawn plans of the whole building, but as you can see, we've got the living room there, which is divided into 2. Clearly, we've got the potential in some form to come out into the garden.
I really like the idea of a garden sort of living space, you know.
Oh, I'm going to ask you one of those really annoying questions. You know what it's going to be. Yes. But in order to do something like that, what would it cost and how long would it take?
That's perfect.
Well, the second bit's the easiest. I mean, it's usually a year door to door, one way or another. Right. I mean, because you've got planning, you've got to find builders. Cost-wise, you're probably talking about £50,000–60,000.
Brilliant.
Bob, that's extremely helpful.
Okay.
Thank
Bob.
you. Thanks ever so much.
Given us a lot to think about.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we should probably reconvene somewhere else and work out what we're going to do about it.
Yeah.
Good plan?
Yes.
So, that's the potential sorted out. If Martine and Nick want this house and pay the asking price of £375,000 plus £60,000 for the extension budget, they'd still be a whopping £65,000 under budget.
But that's not good enough for me. I'm going to try and cut an even better deal here. So what would you like to do from here?
I think we would like to put down an offer on it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I need a definite rather than a think.
No, definite.
Yeah,
I think weighing up everything. It's a lovely area, and we've discussed it long and hard, and we definitely want to put an offer in.
That's great news. I'm delighted. It happens to be my favourite house, and it was the one that I hoped that you would pick. We're going to ignore completely the asking price. That is what they would like to achieve for it. I don't believe it's worth that. The value of that house, I'm not convinced, is any more than £350,000.
Right.
So £350,000 is our cut-off point, if you're happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to come here today and I was going to suggest £350,000.
So why don't we say £335,000?
OK.
That's an opening bid.
Yeah. That would be a great starting point, definitely, yeah.
Happy with that, Nick?
No, absolutely. Yeah, cheaper the better.
Janine, it's Phil Spencer. Hi. We've just been sitting here discussing the whys and wherefores of the house and really debating the value and struggling, I'm afraid, to justify the price that's being asked. Given what they would need to spend in order to make the house work, we've come up with a valuation in today's market, in today's state, of £335,000. It's not meant to be cute, it's not meant to be cheeky, we're not trying to be clever. That is genuinely what we feel the house is worth. Thanks, Janine, good luck. Cheers. Bye-bye. Hello. Hi, Janine. Hi. Yeah. Right, I see that would be a fairly difficult pill for them to swallow. We've been sitting here, again, debating the what-ifs. I reiterate that Nick and Martine feel that the house is worth what they have just offered. However, they also accept that it is quite a unique house and they have a fairly unique set of requirements. So it begs the question, are they prepared to pay more than they feel it's worth in the market today? And the answer to that is yes, that they would pay in excess of what they feel it's worth. And there is one final step and one final offer, which is $343,000. And okay, that would be terrific. Thanks, Janine. Good luck. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Great stuff. We'll see what comes out of that.
They're going to be, I tell you, they're going to be brave if they turn that offer down.
Oh, God, I don't like this waiting, though.
We don't have to wait, we just offer them...
No.
If you really don't like it, we'll just pay them what they want.
No, let's go your way, Phil, definitely.
Absolutely.
Sounds good to me.
Hi, Janine, how did you get on? I'll talk to them right now, but 343 was... I'll let you know either way. Thanks, Janine. Bye. We've got them where we want them.
Really? I was trying to read your face there and it just wasn't working at all.
They wanted 375. She did talk them down to 355. Given all that we've talked about, they would do a deal today at 350.
That's 25,000 under the asking price. So...
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Are you sure?
I don't understand. It's all money.
Janine, we've got a deal, 350, off the market. Your guys are moving to rented. They're absolutely delighted to pay it. Fantastic. Thank you very much for your help. Terrific. Bye.
Phil,
Thank
you're
you.
mad.
Well done.
Absolute man. Thank you ever so much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Excellent.
I think we all better order another round of this.
Excellent. We got a house. Oh, well done, Phil. No, seriously, well done.
It's a great house.
Fantastic.
I think it'll suit you very nicely. You'll be very, very happy there, and I wish you all the best of luck for this year.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Phil, my hero.
I've done a few decent deals over the years, but I tell you, that one really counted. Great house, great price, and a great couple. 5 months later, Pradeep and Dena finally get the keys to their dream pad.
Really, really exciting. We're actually in the house, look.
It's just unbelievable we're finally here. Just can't believe it's our house at last.
Oh my God. This is our house.
We've come from a one-bedroom flat and just sitting out in the garden. It's such a lovely space. It's magic.
That was a good one. I think my friends will like it. I think they might love it.
And Martine and Nick have also moved into their first family home.
It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, the next thing for us, the big thing, is the extension. So we're happy with where we are, definitely, you know, and we can really see ourselves living here for quite a few years.
And that's not their only cause for celebration. 8 weeks ago, surrounded by close friends and family, Martine achieved her goal by walking down the aisle to marry Nick.
That was really important to me to do that, and for Nick, but also for my family and for my dad to walk me down the aisle, you know, in a long dress, and, you know, to my husband to be. That was a special time.
I kind of had a little bit of a tear, I have to say, but I mean, I was fine, I was all right, but it was absolutely incredible. You looked amazing, and yeah, we're just little king and queen, weren't we, for the day, you know, which is really special, you know.